So, thank you all for bearing with us. We're now going to do the last presentation of the day. It's the IR Member of the Year. This is a concept that we started 2013, I think it was, and something that we enjoy. We think it's the right thing to do. For us, the idea is not just to hand out a trophy and recognise three firms. You can see the 3 seats here. We're going to be interviewing 3 firms shortly. But the main idea for us is for you to hear about members who are really engaging with their membership, and they're coming up with really great ideas and plans. And what we want to do is you to hear from them some of the good ideas that they're having, how they're making best use of the membership, so you can then go back to your own businesses and put it into practice. So rather than just hear from us about what you should be doing, which of course we do a bit of that, I think it's a more powerful message for you to hear it from some of the members themselves. So, what we do, just so you're aware of what the process is, in the summer we reached out to all the membership base and we asked you to nominate who you believe was the most deserving, so perhaps somebody that you'd worked with, somebody that you knew was doing some good work. You were also able to nominate yourselves. I speak to the people within the office as well, and we have a review of who we think is the most deserving to put on a shortlist. We then put on a shortlist of 15 firms, okay, and we then reach out to them for them to provide their submission. If you have been a previous Member of the Year or you've been nominated in the final 3, you are absolved from that process, because we think that that's the right thing to do, because we want to hear fresh, innovative ideas. So the 15 shortlisted firms, we reach out to them. What are we talking to them about? We're talking to them about referrals, and we're talking to them about the good work that they're doing in the group. What creative and innovative ideas have they got? But also, how are they benefiting the whole of the membership base? What are they doing as a proactive thing that is going to benefit you all? And we also want to find out about how they feel about their IR membership as well. So once we get to the final 15, we do a selection process. So just so you're aware of who the 15 nominations are for this year, I'll quickly read through them. We've got Bacchiardi from Italy, Blazer Mills from England, BWK in the Netherlands, Daichi from Japan, Diviset and Nibel from Luxembourg, Gallion from France, Gollenbach from New York, Inspire from England, Lex Counsel from India, MDP from Australia, Munkar Law Firm from India, Rosenberg and Estes from New York, SKW Schwartz from Germany, and Validas Corial from Portugal, and finally Wiki Partners from Switzerland. So you can see from the list, it's a nice mixture of law firms, accountancy firms and finance firms. You've got some firms from Europe. You've also got some firms from Asia and also the US as well. So I think that shows that the group is in a good place, and that the work and the good work that's been done is split fairly evenly across the globe. So we reach out to them, they send in their submissions, and then the tricky part is getting down to the final 3. And that's where Tom and I discuss or argue, whichever way you want to decide, and then we reach the final conclusion of the final 3. So it was a tough choice this year, it's a tough choice every year, but I'm going to ask the 3 nominees to come to the stage now so you can hear from them. So if I can ask Lorenzo Bacchiardi, Seema Jingan, and Balthazar Wiki to come to the stage, please. Just while they're getting themselves prepared, just a little note about the 15 who are on the shortlist and the 12 who aren't on the stage. They're all doing really good work in the group. If you don't know who these firms are, okay, then you should. Okay, you should know who these guys are. They're active. They're doing some great work. They're active both inbound and outbound, which of course is the key for a lot of these things. A lot of the work, of course, and the selection process is driven by referrals. But yeah, so if you don't know who these guys are, I would suggest that you get to know them. The majority of them are here. Majority of them have been here these last few days, and please get to know them. So the criteria that we're going to have is going to hear from each one of them in turn for 10 minutes. We're going to ask them a little bit about their submission, about the key points of the work that they've done recently. Then, after you've heard from each one in turn, you will have a vote, okay, for who you believe is the most deserving of the award this year. The only difference that you will see is instead of the vote being cast live on the screen, it's a private vote, and then I'll be passed the winner, and I'll announce them and give them our 2017 Member of the Year trophy, and then they'll say a few words. So, Lorenzo, if I can ask you to come to the stage, please, and to the front. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Thank you very much for having me here today, and good afternoon to everyone. As Ross said, my name is Lorenzo Bacciardi. I am an Italian qualified corporate and M&A lawyer with 17 years of experience. I am the managing partner of Bacciardi & Partners, an internationally minded law firm specialized in cross-border transactions. Our main focus is on commercial, corporate, including M&A, taxation, repatriation and expatriation of personnel, transportation and customs, as well as litigation and arbitration. We are based in Italy, and the main office is in Pesaro, which is in the central part of Italy, East Coast, but we also retain a branch office in Milan. Clients benefit from a win-win solution consisting in partner-led service on the one end and an outstanding value for money on the other.
Okay. So it's always interesting to hear about referrals. Can you just talk us through a couple of the key ones from the last year?
Yes, we have sent over the last 12 months 20 referrals to our global member firms. This is the outbound contribution. And we have received 5 referrals. On the outbound side, we have assisted a corporate client selling its minority shareholding interest in a Thai company, and we worked here with Pisut Rakwong. We have also assisted another Italian corporate client in setting up a subsidiary in South Africa and expatriating 3 Italian top managers to South Africa, and in this case we have worked with Carlo Messina. As to the inbound, we have assisted Bosco de Gispert on the review of a press clipping agreement that one of his clients had to sign with a press agent, an Italian press agent. And we have also assisted a Dutch corporate client in setting up a subsidiary and hire local personnel in Italy.
Now, I know you've got some exciting work planned with other members. Perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. We usually maintain daily contact with several higher global member firms in order to proactively scout business opportunities for the benefit of our client. And we do that in specific sectors such as manufacturing, automotive, engineering, life science, food, furniture, and fashion, just to mention a few. And we also monitor the domestic market we are in and try to bring opportunities to our global members. As a matter of fact, we are at the moment trying to raise interest for the acquisition of a 5-star luxury hotel here in Berlin. Such proactive approach has allowed us to close 3 deals already, and 1 is approaching closing. We also invite higher global member firms to come and visit with us our corporate clients in order for you to learn more about the business plan that our client have, and so that when you come back in your country, you can look for opportunities that would match and then bring them back to the attention of our clients. We have done activities in this respect with John Curzon of CCK Strategies. John came this February to to visit our firm, and we have met 3 top clients of our firm prior to him flying to Barcelona to attend the Dealmaker meeting. We also organize a selected workshop on specific issues and specific matters in which we invite selected audience among our clients and prospects so that the other global member firm have an opportunity to address our client on subject of their interest or on jurisdiction our client would like to do business in. Next year, we expect to hold a seminar with Johan Ibanez of Ibanez Parkman from Mexico to address the needs of our client wishing to invest in Mexico. We are basically not waiting for the business to come on our table. But we are proactively scouting the business with you and with your assistance in order to bring that to the attention to our clients so that our client does not see us as a cost, but actually as a valuable partner.
Okay, good. Now, you heard Tom talk a little bit about the ACC Council Group earlier. That introduction came from yourself, Lorenzo?
Yes,
Tell
indeed.
us a bit about that.
Yeah. I am fully convinced that mid-sized law firms such as ours need to embrace the mission to win multinational clients that would otherwise refer to multinational law firms. This is a task that we have to embrace and clients that we have to, in a way or the other, capture. So to succeed in such an effort, I believe that we need to leverage on our network and on our global in particular, because with the network we can reach out clients that individually we would not have the opportunity to meet. So I introduced the Vice President for Europe, Mercedes Carmona Mariscal, who is the Vice President for ACC, to Thomas Wheeler, as Tom said earlier. And the two of them are trying to see ways of cooperating, but I'm sure that there will be great opportunities coming from such relation, and I was mostly interested in the opportunity that seems to be available whereby our member firms would have chances to organize seminars in our home places with the sponsorship of our global ACC and possibly the national chapter of ICC, during which I believe we will have an opportunity to pitch and to explain what we can do for the corporate councils of multinational law firms. All of this obviously is expected to be to bring opportunities for our global member firm to be retained by corporate councils that otherwise I believe we would have no chance to reach out to.
Okay, and finally, just wanted to hear about the Elite Deals platform, which many of them won't know what that is, but it's an opportunity for certain members.
Yes, this is something that I developed thinking about my M&A practice. There is a company that is named Elite, and which has launched Elite Club Deal platform. This is a company that is held by the London Stock Exchange and by the Milan Stock Exchange. Their aim is to develop, and indeed they have already launched, a digital platform for business opportunity placement. And I met with Francesco Stolfa of Elite Club Deal platform in Milan, and I placed Thomas Wheeler in contact with him so that they too could develop some ways of working together. Basically, the platform works as follows. It is a digital private placement platform whereby, on the one end, elite companies have an opportunity to post their need for raising finance, look for partners, look for joint venturers, look for targets to acquire, and ultimately grow internationally. On the other hand, the platform allows pre-accredited advisors to get access to the platform, view the opportunities, and then bring the opportunities to the attention of the clients should they wish to consider it. IA Global and IA Global member firms fit perfectly to act as advisors. So they could be allowed to enter the platform and review the business opportunities posted therein. I believe that this is a great opportunity for the deal-making section of this network and those that deal with M&A in particular, because the platform allows them to, or increases their chances to place or make a deal for the benefit of their clients or meeting the expectation of their corporate or financial clients. On the other hand, the platform comes, access to the platform comes at no cost whatsoever for IA Global and IA Global member firms. To the contrary, if a deal closes and one of our firm, for example, acted as advisor, then the advisor is entitled to receive a portion of the success fee the platform receives from the company posting the opportunity right after closing. So in my view, this is a great tool for us and for those that are involved in the deal-making activities.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Super. Seema, would you like to take your position and introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Seema Chingan from New Delhi. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer. I am a co-founder of a firm called Lex Counsel in India. I'm also a partner there. So I'm also deeply associated with a self-funded NGO, which I'll talk later. But as a corporate lawyer, I'm an expert in M&A and private equity. I do a lot of work in aviation and defense, a lot of work in education and IT and telecom work. As a firm, we are a mid-sized firm with 22 lawyers in our Delhi office, associate offices across India. We're in the process of setting up one small office in US for inbound India work. We have a loose association with one person in Geneva who looks after our work in Europe. As a firm, we are doing a lot of work for international and national companies, which includes work in M&A, in defense, in civil aviation, in clinical trials, biotechnology, and we have a separate division in the firm for litigation and dispute resolution. On the cross-border transaction, we help the companies to come to India. We look at their legal structures. We help them set up their companies in India, their legal compliances, and the general advisory and real estate work for them. So the members of the firm, not only me, but the other partners have been designated as leading partners and lawyers in Asia Pacific in IT, private equity, and venture capital funding. I'm the private equity and venture capital funding partner of the firm. I'm also associated, and I'm very keenly associated with the education of underprivileged children. And I have an NGO called Parivartan, which means change. And I'm self-funding that education for underprivileged children in rural India.
Okay. Now, you're slightly different to the other two in as much that you've been a long-term member of IR Global. I remember you came to our first annual conference in 2012, so you would have seen us evolve, and you're also on the Commercial Practice Area Committee for several years now. You can just tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so I think I'm one of the oldest member of the platform, and when I joined, it was a small startup entity, and with its dedication, it has grown into an 800 plus members in a well-respected network. I think when I had the privilege of attending the first conference in London, one thing was it struck me very clearly, and I had shared that with Tom and you. I saw the dedication of the team of IR, I saw the sincerity, and I saw how much focus they were to bring value to the members, and I think that's the core of IR. So, so all of that happened in front of my eyes in the last 6-7 years. And over the years, I have been associated. Not only we have brought clients, and we have done referrals and received referrals. In addition to that, what is a mid-sized firm like ours is capable of doing? You know, everybody thinks that, oh, I need to be a big firm, I need to have a lot of marketing budgets, I need to have this to really do it well, right? Wrong, that's not true. Creativity is all that you need to have a right mindset for the marketing. And being a small, and we started as 4 lawyers 14 years back, and right now we are 22 and we have offices across India and 1 in US. That did not require a lot of money, it required creativity, and that's what I have tried to do with IR as well. We have tried to create relationships by hosting other IR members in India, or while we travel across the world, we meet them. We make a point that we keep a day to meet with them. We've tried to work together with other IR referral members by, let's say, doing joint pitches. Now, we worked with an Italian firm called Paradigma and Chinese firm called Lumink International. We did a joint bid for an Italian consortium, which had footprints in India and China. Then we have worked a lot for joint articles with other firms. We worked with Harrington Carmichael for writing joint articles. We have helped other firms in making their presentation for the trade association. For example, we are associated with Schaeffer Partners for the last 3 years in preparing their Indo-Czech Republic Trade Association presentations. Basically, the bottom line is how you can be of use to others. That's the key. It is not always about what we are receiving as work. It is always important what we are doing, not necessarily with work assignments, but what are we doing to expand the network. For that, we have also referred accountants in India as well as lawyers in Africa to sort of grow the network, bring more accountant firms into the network fold. As a committee member, I've had very interesting experiences, and we worked for the last 3 years in presenting our views, our thoughts, how we can sort of grow the network and bring value to it. I've been attending for the last 6 years either the regional or the annual conferences without any break, and I think that's the core, meeting people, putting faces to the names, and creating relationships.
Great. I think you've touched on a couple of things, but perhaps you just want to tell us more about the relationship with the ICCCA?
Yes.
ICCA.
So ICCCA, for lawyers, the right kind of people to really market are the general counsels and legal heads of the companies, and we've realized that cold marketing just doesn't work with them. So what we started doing was we started sort of sponsoring GC Council Association conferences in India. This is held by a entity called Indian Corporate Counsel Association, which put together national and international general counsel from various MNCs. The good part is that we get to speak to the GCs right there in the conference, exchange issues, and we carry forward that relationship thereafter through a WhatsApp group. Sounds funny, but we actually have a WhatsApp group with all GC conferences that we have attended, and we keep exchanging views on that. Now, I have spoken to the management team of the ICA, which is International Corporate Council, and they will be very happy to host a special conference for just the IR Global and their members, and have the platform of 50 to 60 general counsels there. Or you can attend the annual conference of ICA, which is usually held in September, October every year in Delhi. I would definitely recommend the Delhi conference, where I've spoken to the management team of ICA, which they said they will be happy to have a session dedicated to IR Global and their members. The cost will not be prohibitive because we'll have a consortium of all the members put together to sort of share the cost. So that would be a very interesting, exciting. It is that popular that you have international firms like Clifford Chance, Herbert Smith, Price Waterhouse, Rajan Tang, KPMG actually sponsoring these conferences. Just a word of caution, they're not as well organized as IR, but they are pretty good in sort of connecting with the legal heads and general counsels. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Seema, well, thank you very much.
Can I add one more?
Sure, of course you can. Sorry, you've got 2 minutes left. So.
Yeah. One of the initiatives that we had taken was with our IR members other members was writing joint articles. And what we did was, since we were a member of a firm called Mondac, which publishes online articles, and the general recipient and the readers are legal heads and general corporate counsels. It's a paid sort of a membership, but we worked around with our members to publish joint articles. Just to give you an instance and a perspective, we worked with Sheffer and Partners for an article on liability of directors for deaths of the company. Since we wanted the content to be sort of relevant for both Czech Republic and for India, that was a very suitable topic. And once we published it, it has sort of gone viral. It has had 7,000 plus reads, downloads, and printouts. That's an amazing number for a legal article. So Alex, wherever you are, you rock, because that was a beautiful contribution from their team. Then we have done an article also with Harrington Carmichael, which was on significant beneficial ownership. That article was also, I think it's as of today, it must have touched around 2,000 downloads, which is for a legal article, an amazing number. So any other, we have done articles with other members as well. Anybody else who will be happy to work with us and use our platform to publish article, and that, I'll be happy to work with them as well. Yeah.
Seema, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Finally, last but not least, certainly, Balthazar.
Thank you, Ross, for having me here. I'm standing here representing also Sergio, who's in the room. Hillary is not here this time. I'm here because of my partners and not just for myself. We are a small law firm. We have 4 partners in Zurich, in the center of Zurich, concentrating on the business law. Hillary is a commercial litigator. Sergio is looking after IP and technology matters, and I'm more in restructuring transactions and private equity matters. So that's what we do. We started our firm 2014 only. We're growing. We plan to merge next year with an equally sized firm in order to get a bit more muscle power, but that's going to be announced then via the network, and I'm looking forward to this next step of growth.
So
coming to the referrals,
please do. Yeah.
Okay. For us in Switzerland, Switzerland being a very small jurisdiction, working with outside councils is basically a daily matter. So picking up the phone and calling our colleagues, our global colleagues, is nearly a daily matter. So I just want to point out a few more special cases we've had. So we were working together with Ayal on a case in Israel. That was outbound. Inbound, we had some work to do for John Wolfs, who gave us some interesting work for Hillary mainly. Sergio has his own network, getting in certain referrals, more on the IP, but also on employment matters. We have been very thankful for the help of Nick Jen, helping us to understand IP law on gaming industry in China, which was extremely helpful for one of our clients. So that is about it. We're not taking count, and we're not holding count of our referrals ins and outs. I think for us the referrals is basically has become a daily activity, and we basically only refer to our global members. If you have to refer outbound, inbound, obviously we're happy to get work from anybody. Yes, that's about on referrals.
Okay. What I did like this year is you set an initiative for the first jurisdictional meeting. I know we have one in Australia soon, but you've got one later on this month.
That's right. On the 28th of September, we're going to be meeting the Swiss members, going to be meeting for the first time. It's going to be a small group. We only have about, I think, 16 members or so in Switzerland. So I hope to get about 6 or 8 members together for a small little get-together. It's a humble event just in Zurich. A first start, and we try to kind of coordinate a little bit better within the Swiss group, getting to know each other also, because I think that referrals do not just work internationally, they can also work within one jurisdiction or one market, possibly for the US. What we try to do is then to come up possibly with some input also for the team of Tom and Ross. We try to recommend possible new members also in areas where we think that IR Global still has white spots, like in the western part of Switzerland, in the French-speaking part or the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland. IR Global doesn't have real good foothold yet. So we think that we can be a much more valuable voice also in developing our own strength and the market in Switzerland. And I think, and I believe that this kind of approach, which is a very easy one to organize, can also work in other markets, be in New York, be it in statewise groups of people or within smaller jurisdictions.
Okay, very good. And I know that you do some heavy promoting of IR, and you have some really good marketing initiatives and working with other firms as well. So perhaps you can just tell us a bit about that.
One idea, Alex and I came up already a year ago or so, is to have mutual visits. UK is getting into a situation after Brexit which is strikingly similar to Switzerland within the EU. So we thought that there might be some interesting connections and some discussions to be had on what that means and what kind of opportunities come up for our clients mutually. So Alex is going to visit our offices. We do a client event on the 18th of October. And I'm going to visit his office shortly after. And I think that exchange will bring a lot of new input also for our clients and shows actually the strength we're having in bringing interesting people and interesting partners from abroad. And I think we should continue with that kind of exchange of experts, be it from Italy, be it from other jurisdictions. Also, we are very proud to have MedWorld advisors, Dave, Flo, quite often visiting us in Switzerland. They have their office, their branch is registered at our office, so we have a very active contact with Dave and Florence. Also, we talked to Teresa about the opportunity to build up a branch office of their law firm in Zurich. They're having more and more work to do with the financial community in Switzerland, white-collar work and white-collar defense work. And so it would be a logical step for them to have a desk and to have a presence in Zurich as well. So I think this kind of more entrepreneurial approach to managing a law firm is going to be our future. And IR Global is kind of like our secret weapon in this setup. You know, there's not a single client introductory meeting where we're not talking about IR Global. We're not talking about you know, our opportunity and ability to mobilize very quickly partners in various jurisdictions.
Good. And finally, you paid reference to Hilary and Sergio. So you've made quite a commitment to IR, certainly in terms of investment and time. And of course, they're in a different practice area. So perhaps just tell us a bit about your thinking behind that.
You know, when Hilary and later on Sergio joined me, that made me extremely happy, because these are the kind of partners you want to have. They're entrepreneurial, they're very active, and they are specialists in fields where I am not that strong. So that is exactly what we wanted, and we keep growing our firm on that level. And for me, it was very clear that we want to focus on one network only. We do not want to spread out and have different connections in different networks. We believe in being focused, in doing things right, and in crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And so that is why I immediately recommended to Hilary and to Sergio to join that network too. And it is interesting, they are really developing their own network within IR Global. They have their own referrals, they have their own contacts, they talk to people I barely know. So I could only recommend also to you within your own firms to bring in partners of different age levels or different specialities into IR Global. It's kind of it's a real addition, and it adds to the synergy within the team here of IR Global. So for us, that has been a very good initiative, and I see the referrals coming in on different channels now, which is exactly what we wanted to have.
Super. Okay. All right, Balthazar, I think that's it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a very quick summary, but if you can get your keypads ready, So just have a little think for a moment. You've heard from Lorenzo about, well, you've heard from all of them about their referral work, which of course is important. You've heard from Lorenzo about some of the interesting work that he's got planned, how he introduced the ACC to us, and also the Elite Deals platform. You've heard from Seema and about her long-term relationship with IR and her role in the committee. You've also heard about the joint marketing initiatives that she's done, and also the opportunity to work with the Indian in-house council group as well. And then finally, you've just heard from Balthazar about his marketing initiatives, the Switzerland meeting that he has planned, and also that he's brought in different partners from different practice areas to help grow his business. So if I can just ask you to vote for Bacchiardi is 1 or A, 2B for Lex Council, or 3C for Wiki. So if you can all vote now, please. So just while we're waiting for the results, and it'll be passed to me in maybe 1 minute, I did just want to pay homage and respect to previous winners. So some of them are in the room here. As I said to you before, they can't, if they've won before or been in the final 3, they're not, our rules are that we don't nominate them again. However, I think it's only appropriate that the 2013 winner, Alish, I think you're over there. Yeah, the 2014 we have Nick Chen, but I know that Juan is at the back of the room. Yeah, Juan as well. Yeah. And Roth Partners, unfortunately they were here, but they've had to leave a bit early in France. They won in 2015. And then finally, our current member of the year for another 30 seconds is Johnny Wolves. So John, you're here as well. So, yeah, as I said earlier, if you don't know who those guys are, and I'm sure you probably know the majority of them, if you don't know them, please do get to know them. They are long-term members of the group. They're still very, very active. They've built up a lot of contacts and a lot of networks. These are the guys that are the real rainmakers. They do refer work out, and they also work quite heavily with members. So, yeah, if you don't know, and as I say, the previous nominees, then please do get to know them. So Tim's going to pass me the winner, and I'm going to announce it now and give them the trophy. So I always like this bit. And the winner of the 2017 IR Global Member of the Year is Bacchiardi and Partners. Lorenzo, congratulations.
Thank you.
Here's your trophy. Well done. If you want to say a few words.
Thank you all. Very, very happy to receive this nomination. I think that we are really well positioned to win new clients together and afford and meet the challenge that we have ahead. I come from a different network myself, and I think I appreciate very much the differences between the previous network I was member of and IR Global. I think that to meet the expectation of the market in the years ahead, we really need to have proactivity and organization, as I think we are receiving here among the members. I think we have a great selection of members. Another thing I can testify myself, coming from a different network, is that I have found the quality of the work that you guys deliver in your jurisdiction very high. So we don't fear anyone. Probably the multinational law firm should fear us big time.
Yeah, well done, Lorenzo. Very good.
Thank you again.